Into a 24-point win. Look, because of their defense, the way they set the tone, big game in that first half. JJ called it probably their best defense of the year at that point. Bucks tried to respond there in the third. They had a 38-point third quarter, but the Lakers set that tone early and really had a commanding lead.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, they passed the test with an A+ on this trip. Playing last night, coming in, back-to-back game against Milwaukee, who are at home with Giannis and a great three-point shooting team. They started from the beginning with a defensive mindset, and you could tell that they were not allowing Giannis to get to the rim that much. Didn't close out that well. I mean, Milwaukee got some open shots. They just didn't knock them down. But the Lakers were able to eliminate them from getting offensive rebounds. They pressured the perimeter players. I know they made that run in the third, but the Lakers continued to come with the defense, and they were able to get some offense going as well. So hats off to a back-to-back game. They needed this game to have a successful road trip. They got the job done on the defensive end.
Yeah, it's kudos to the coaching staff. They had a great game plan to stop Giannis, and when you have that game plan and you don't have a chance to practice, sometimes it's hard to execute. So kudos to the team too for maybe have it done and shoot around. Well, they probably didn't have shoot around, and the meeting, and then they go out and execute, and they was able to implement that game plan. So kudos to them. And you also have to think about the way they got on the perimeter, offensive players too. They contested all threes, which is so important in this game, and then they rebounded. Because sometimes with the long threes and the way you're scrambling as a defensive team, the other team gets a lot of offensive rebounds. So they were able to secure the rebounds, get fast breaks, and more importantly, knock down shots. Because you can play great defense, but if you go down the other end, you don't shoot it very well. It doesn't it doesn't do you any good. So I really like the overall game plan, especially on the last game of the road trip, because sometimes that last game, all you think about is getting home to the wife and kids. But they played well, and I'm happy that they sustain that lead and won the game.
So much better coming back to LA too with a win under your belt. That long flight. You're now 7-2 on the road. 10-4 overall are the Lakers. Talk about securing rebounds. They also secured the game ball. This is what happened at the end of this one.
Never seen this before. Give me the damn ball.
Hey, that settled that really fast when the leader of the league team says, you know what, just give him the ball, man. It's just a ball. We got a million of them in the back.
You know who else could have got the game ball? Luka Dončić. How about this? His 50th career 40-point game, which is his 6th with the Lakers. That ties him with Magic Johnson. Big game for 10th most in Laker history. It's his fourth 40-point game of the season alone. He had 41 tonight. 18 of 20 from the free throw line. Those 18 makes ties a career high for him.
All the great names out there. You know what I like about Luka tonight is he knew this was the last game on the road trip, and he knew that they're going to need him to, get them going. And he came out aggressive. He came out, looking for his shot early. Also finding Ayton. I don't know, Ayton must have had about 5 lobs tonight between Austin and Luka. But Luka, he wanted his team to come out and have a good start, and he got them going early, knocking down some big shots and also dissecting the defense for nice passes.
Man, to me, when you watch this game plan, it was very good. Luka was in attack mode. He was in lob mode. And I talked about that earlier. Which mode are you going to be in? Are you going to be shoot a lot, pass a lot, or in the middle? He was directly in the middle. And plus, what was really...
Wait, Powell stepping down? Nah, he's staying put.
Good. He got to the free throw line 20 times, 18 for 20. So that means you're on the attack. Luka is one of those rare players that can draw so many fouls and get to the free throw line. So, he had a little problem shooting free throws, but tonight he knocked them down.
Not that it matters, but this game obviously featured 1 and 2 in terms of scores in the league, and Luka holds that. Continues after tonight with the 41. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is right behind him, pours in 32. Austin Reeves, big game. Let's just go down the list in terms of contribution. He was just as good. 25, 8, and 6 plus 14. It's like as if it wasn't Luka, it was Austin.
Yeah, he's back on his saddle. Back on his horse after that groin injury, and then coming back a little less than he wanted to, and so that's what we expect.
For me, I knew, we talked about who has the advantage, and I felt like the guard play for the Lakers with a bigger advantage, and tonight they show it. Him having 25 and combined starting guards for them was at 25. So you look at, he had an advantage. I think this is very rare that he's probably taller than most guards that guard him. In this case, he was taller. He was more athletic too. Which is, hey, is he our next Kobe Bryant? I'm just kidding, people. I'm just kidding. But no, he had a great opportunity to show his thing tonight and show that when you got the size advantage and the skill advantage, you take over, and that's what he did tonight.
I know we talked in the green room about how social media didn't exist during your day, but it does now, so you have to be careful and remind people you are kidding.
People. I like, if he is our next Kobe Bryant, we all going to be happy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
Indeed. You wanted to focus on the guard play. You wanted to focus on the bigs. And when you look at a night like Deandre Ayton, you wanted him to be in attack mode, impose his will early. Another 20-10 game for him, along with a block and a couple of steals.
Double-double. And defensively, I thought, held his ground. I mean, he was active for the reason of just setting it. He goes to a spot where he think he can get the basketball, and I think tonight we saw that 4 or 5 lobs tonight. He's just an exceptional player. He's starting to really understand his teammates, understand what Luka wants out of him, what Reeves, how they played with him, and how he puts himself in position to score buckets. So good performance.
Yeah, I think they're understanding him too, because he's used to picking, he's used to popping, he's used to doing a little bit of everything. So that one move they showed, I think it was the second to the last clip there, where they show where he caught it at the free throw line. He looked, oh, you're a little fella. Mm-hmm. So he took it to him into the paint, threw a little jump hook, because we know how good he is at shooting the free throw line jumper. Yeah, if Miles Turner was on him, he shot the jumper. If the Greek Freak was on him, when they switched to a little guy, he just rolled to the basket and abused him, like Shaq would say, barbecue chicken. And that's what you have to do as a big. You have to turn and assess the situation. He is so good at that. I don't think we really realize that, because he looks, little guy, he goes to the rack. Big guy, he shoots the jumper, because most people in this day and age, they just sell it for the jump shot because that's the easy way out. Mm-hmm. But he's a hard worker, and he's understanding the game, and more importantly, his teammates are starting to understand who he is as a player.
They're embracing one another, and that's big, as he has mentioned, with each rep that he gets. The Lakers improved to 6-4 versus teams above 500, along with 2-1 on the second night of back-to-backs. Time to hear from Coach JJ.
JJ, after those nights in, I guess, Atlanta and OKC specifically, how much does getting a game like this back kind of, reach as the team as a push? And I guess you described it as Laker basketball, but do you feel like this kind of restores what you were looking for?
It does. I reference a lot Hard Knock Life, Volume 2, classic Jay-Z album. There's a song on there called A Week Ago. And one of the lines, the main line, is, "It was all good just a week ago." I told the team yesterday, a week ago from yesterday, we were practicing in Atlanta. We were 7-2. We were feeling good about ourselves. And then you don't play well for 3 games a week in this league. I mean, this is the NBA. And you got to find moments to recapture what makes you a good basketball team. And I think over the last 24 hours, we've done that. I just want to say a couple things about the game overall. I want to give a lot of credit to my staff. Sometimes with these turnarounds, the prep for the players becomes difficult. We met at 40 on the clock. We got in at 3 a.m. last night, so we didn't want to overwhelm them when they were zombies at 12 p.m. So we met at 40 on the clock, and I thought, Coach Ty, Scotty, Greg, Drew Seifert, like all these guys that worked on this scout did a really good job of creating clarity for our team, and we were able to go out and execute that, and that's a credit to our guys. And the second thing is, like, Maxi Kleba has not been in the rotation all season. He's played in a couple blowouts. Knew he was going to be part of the rotation tonight. Guy scores, he makes 1 basket, but had a huge impact on the game with his physicality, his talk, and just what I would describe as what we want Laker spirit to be. Just being a great teammate. It had, on the court, the defense, the rebounding, the all the stuff that are winning basketball plays. He was a big part of that tonight.
A couple of key moments. So Milwaukee makes the big run in the third, and Luka has that, I think, either 8 or 9-0 streak. Yeah. And then Austin has the 3 threes when Luka's sitting. Did you see that as kind of stabilizing?
I mean, we knew they were going to make a run. They didn't shoot the ball well in the first half. A few of the threes were threes we were willing to live with. A couple of their lasers missed some decent looks. I thought we did a pretty good job of closing out. Didn't do a great job of closing out off of Giannis's passes to start the second half. And your group, we actually responded twice. They make the run, we get back up 22, they cut it down again, and then Luka and AR, like they did all night, just led us, and like they've done all season. Those guys have done an amazing job of leading our basketball team.
You did have Luka and AR, but this kind of goes along with the same theme of at Portland the win, at Minnesota today where you lose 2 starters like day of, where you're undermanned and find a way to get it done, and kind of pulling back big picture with LeBron looming in terms of his return. How have this portion of the season maybe served you in the long run, having different guys play and contribute as you look to build the full season?
Well, it's a confidence boost for the group. I think for certain players who, when we're fully healthy, may not play a ton of minutes or may not even be part of the rotation. It gives them a reference point. I think Nick Smith knows that we believe in him as a player. We're calling ISOs for him against the Portland Trailblazers, who have great wing defenders. So I think it's great for the group. With the possibility of us getting healthy, that certainly makes you excited. But then, like I told you guys in training camp, we had 24 starting lineups last year. Like the soft tissue injuries, all this stuff, it's just part of the NBA. And whether we've had an illness run through the team this week while we're on the road. We've had a number of guys that have played through it, a number of guys that haven't been able to play through it. So those things are just going to happen throughout an NBA season. But the togetherness of the group and the intent of the group every night outside of a couple games has been really good.
Going to ask about the guy who you had on your shirt pregame. When we were talking with Deandre yesterday, he mentioned that he kind of feels like the team feeds off his energy. You wore his shirt, I'm guessing, in support of him. You said you want to be a Lion. What have you learned about what gets him going, what gets him in the spot where, energy-wise, he is the Deandre that the team needs him to be?
To me, he feeds off of the group's energy, and he feeds off of empowerment and encouragement and positive reinforcement. And it took 8 to 10 days to figure that out in the preseason, and once we did, it's been really awesome to watch him grow with this group and be fully engaged and be a part of this group.
Okay, why did nobody teach me that when you get a credit card, you're actually not supposed to spend the entire balance? When I got a card with a $2,000 credit limit, I thought I was actually supposed to use it. Turns out, a big part of how good your credit is depends on how much you're actually using. It wasn't until
you, JJ, everybody mentioned that the trip didn't start how you wanted, but how important was it for you to finish like this, and what kind of energy did that give you going home?
To go 3-2 on a trip like this early in the year, it's good. Obviously you wish you'd just play a little better in Atlanta and OKC, but it's the league, and you're going to have nights like that, and you have to learn to move on. And we had a good win last night, and then turned the page, and got here and played a really, really good first half. And we were a really good, full game. We had a couple stretches there in the third quarter that weren't great, but that's a good team with, some really good players. So it's good to be 3-2 on this trip.
We know the circumstances, back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, got in late last night. Start in the fourth quarter, and Luka's on the bench. You hit 3 threes. I know you hadn't been shooting the 3 well to your liking in the previous couple of games. So what were you seeing on those possessions, and how do you feel like that was important to keep them from coming back?
It was just good to see the ball go in the basket from 3. Like you said, I hadn't shot it great. Probably the last 6-7 games, to be honest. I don't know, maybe 5. But just trying to do what I can do to help our team, be successful. And like I said, it was good to get some go down. And yeah, I think I made 5 in the second half. So hopefully we can continue to shoot the ball well. Did we shoot over 40% from 3 today?
39.
In Arkansas, we round that up, but don't matter. I said in Arkansas. I didn't even say what y'all were doing.
But I call it 55. With the real Arkansas bump.
Yeah, sure.
You guys are 10-4. Haven't played with LeBron James yet. Could be at practice on Monday. Could be with you guys shortly thereafter. How much confidence does this stretch give this team about what it can do?
Very. There's a lot of excitement to, the things that we can do you know, as a group. And, you know, I spoke about it the other day. And y'all know how he is. He analyzes everything to a T. So I'm sure he's sitting at his house while we're playing, probably drinking a little bit of wine and watching the game and seeing, you know, what exactly he can do to, you know, help this team be successful. You know, obviously it's LeBron, and just his presence and his ability is going to, you know, lift the team. But he's a winner at the end of the day, and you know, he's won his whole career, and I expect him to do nothing but, you know, come in and be one of the best players. How about Bronny James starting in the NBA and LeBron's assigned to the G League? That's awesome.
Take shots.
Yeah, I told him he should play a game. Still, I still believe it.
Just what was the level of importance for you guys to kind of reclaim what JJ had talked about, that like the Laker basketball after the slow start to the trip, and to finish it like this?
Yeah, just finishing off strong, honestly. Today was a good challenge, you know, playing a playoff team and being in the playoff environment. Our concepts was just, you know, just adjusting to the environment and just coming in here playing Laker basketball, coming back to our fundamentals, the good habits. And another thing was just being mentally focused. You know, both teams was coming off some big games, you know, especially them. I think they came out of OT, got a strong win like that. So this was a game who really wanted it more. And I think this was a good challenge for us because it was multiple times where we've seen teams on back-to-backs like Portland, I believe OKC, and now here, you know, it's like the third time. So it was a time we had to accept that challenge and understand, like, yo, let's treat this, let's come with our, you know, our aggressiveness and, you know, just put pressure on the rim and just play the right way and play together. So that's what we did.
Remember after the first couple of games, you were talking about, you know, wanting to figure out exactly how to run the screen roll and when to be at the rim. And it seemed like these last couple nights, a lot of dunks, it seems like you're starting to read off.
Leave it on them, man. You know, it's been going smooth. I like it like that. You know, just understanding that they want me to set screens and them communicating to me, say, okay, DA, get out now. Makes my life very easy.
There was like a few plays in a row where you and I think it was Austin were finding one another in transition, and it was after the Bucks made a run to start the third quarter. How good did that stretch feel to like be able to put some more buffers in?
It was before him and I got into the game. I was like, all right, now it's going to be up. It's our turn now, because I think I got subbed out early in that first, and, you know, Luka and Jax, you know, they was doing their thing. Jax getting some thunder dunks to just bring momentum to the team. And me and AR was just watching going into that fourth. Later down in the stretch, it was like, all right, now it's our turn. Like, you know, we got to back them up. We got to maintain this. And, you know, they had their little run, and then which is basketball. Good teams do that. But we accepted it, and we threw our punch as well, and, you know, we maintained it. And everybody from the whole team was on top of what the main coverage was for tonight on the defensive side.
You obviously, the opponent's part of this, but you guys lose by 30 to OKC, and then the last two games of the trip, you hold a 30-point lead in both of the games. How much was the OKC result fueling the kind of turn to end of the trip?
I was telling Kleber that. I was like, yo, that, and Vandal, I was saying that. I said, that OKC game woke us up. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the energy. Me, myself, just coming in with different spirits and understand, like, forget the back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? It's Laker basketball. We're trying to win a game, finish off the road trip strong. So we wouldn't really rely what we did yesterday or what time we came in. It didn't matter. You know, stand by me. And then, we're playing our music in here as well just to, you know, keep us tame.
You want to get home. It's been a long road trip for everyone, but the fact that you guys can end it on a high note, have a 30-point lead almost in the first half, what does it say about this group?
It's pretty incredible, honestly. It's working? I think it's pretty incredible. You know, we play back-to-back. I think me and AR played like 40 minutes yesterday. We had a long flight. Come in at 3 a.m. Everybody's tired. So just to come out and be up 30 at halftime, it's incredible. It speaks a lot about that group.
When you joined the team in February, there was a lot of newness to the entire group and a lot of people trying to integrate with you and you trying to integrate with people. You guys have had a really good runway through his first 14 games. Now you have LeBron, you know, looming with his return. What's it going to take from all of you to make that integration as smooth as possible?
I don't really know, but just mostly like talking about it, just I mean, LeBron played basketball for his 21st season, I think it is. So he knows everything about it. But I think just play the way we play. I think everybody step on the court like it showed today. Like to allow 34 points in a half, it's pretty incredible, and we got to keep doing that. Especially against teams that have great players. You know, we got to keep doing that, and then we got to look at our offense. So first of all, it's defense. When we get stops, you know, we can get anything out of it. So just play the way we play throughout these 10, 14 games.
Took us through it. Can you take us through the moment? And I know you scored first at the free throw line, but the dunk. Can you kind of just take us through in slow mo that moment for you?
I really saw Bronny steal the ball, and he was running alongside, you know, the left side of the court. So now I was like, shoot, let me just run as hard as I can and see what happens. And, you know, he was able to find me, help me, you know, get my first bucket. So, you know, it's a great feeling, happy, you know, it happened.
I know you've been working towards this for a while, trying to get back and get healthy. And so after it goes through, did you look over to the bench and kind of see the reaction to your teammates? Did that make you feel a little extra special?
I heard him whenever I dunked the ball. I could hear him. So, you know, that was pretty hype. But coming down and seeing everybody flexing and all over the bench, you know, it was just a good feeling for everybody to be happy for me.
And did you see the lengths that they went to make sure that you got the game ball afterwards?
Yeah, I did. At first, I didn't even realize, you know, it was all for me. But, you know, I'm very thankful for this team. And, you know, I guess that I think that shows, you know, how connected we are and, you know, how much we want each other to succeed and to succeed as a team.
I know behind the scenes, the coaches have been on you about trying to come in and make an impact with your effort, your physicality, your energy. You're barely on the court for 30 seconds. You get that offensive rebound. Did you feel like that was some validation based on what the coaching staff just wanted to see out of you?
You know, coaches just told me to come in and do what I do. So, you know, I just came in, played as hard as I could. You know, ball bounced right in front of me. I was like, you know, that's the first opportunity right there. If I don't get it now, then that's not a good first statement. So I had to get that ball.
How often have you heard the word banshee from JJ?
He actually hasn't used it with me yet, but I've heard it already, you know, a couple of times through his interviews and everything. But just trying to go out there and, you know, have that dog mentality and, you know, try to do the little things.
What's it been like for you just kind of watching up to this point, and obviously working out on your own and getting back, but just seeing how this team has performed and, you know, up to 10-4. LeBron James hasn't played yet. A lot of guys have been in and out. What's your collective read on the team in your rookie year here?
I feel like, you know, we got a great team. You know, the things we were able to accomplish, and, you know, we don't even have LeBron James yet, and I feel like we're still figuring some things out. But, you know, when we fully get everything down, you know, we got a chance to be something special.